constantly from one ramshackle safe house to the next, although safe house really wasn't the right term, since each had been raided within a few days. Somehow, no matter where they went, the mercenaries who worked for Pike and Dolan managed to track them down. "This way," Peter said in a harsh whisper, cupping his hand around the flashlight so that it only illuminated a hole in the wall that led to the neighboring apartment. In Cleveland, a few weeks ago, the house had been surrounded. They'd only managed to escape because a police cruiser chanced by at the right moment. They'd learned from that. Their latest safe house was actually an apartment in a sprawling, mostly abandoned complex on the outskirts of Little Rock, Arkansas. The development huddled forlornly on the cusp of a national forest, which worked in their favor. Once they got free of the buildings, they could get lost in the trees. But first, they had to get out of the apartment. Shortly after arriving, Peter and Teo had punched holes through the sheetrock, allowing access to the apartment next door. A string of holes through the next 4 apartments led to the final one, overlooking the forest. An emergency exit sat right outside that apartment's front door, and a balcony provided a clear view of the trees. It would take a small army to cover every possible exit from the complex, so with any luck, those routes would be clear. Of course, there was always a chance that Charles Pike had sent a small army. Noa hurried ahead of Peter, ducking her head to clamber through the hole. The sound of a door closing behind her, and the dim light vanished. The windows in this apartment were all boarded up. She groped forward as quickly and quietly as possible, with Peter at her heels. Noa counted as she went. The hole to the next apartment was 20 paces ahead, then 15 to the left. They'd mapped it out earlier, right before she fell asleep. The pounding of boots behind them. Without breaking stride, Noa dug a taser out of her backpack side pouch and flicked the switch to charge it. She could hear Teo and Daisy in front of her, their shuffling feet loud in the stillness. The 4 of them stumbled and tripped their way through the string of apartments, muffling curses and hissing at one another to hurry. Noa strained to hear behind them. Minute by minute, they were losing their head start. Maybe this was a bad idea. Too late now, they'd committed to the plan. Finally, they crawled into the last apartment. Teo and Daisy raced to the balcony's sliding glass door. From there, it was a 3-foot drop to the ground. They were barely visible, silhouetted by the faint light from outside. Peter whispered, "Everyone knows where to meet up?" They all nodded. "Okay," Noa said in a low voice. "Let's go." Teo slid the balcony door open, helping Daisy through. They vaulted off the balcony one at a time. As soon as they hit the ground, they charged for the cover of the trees. "Our turn," Peter whispered, throwing open the apartment's front door. Noa followed him into the hallway. It was pitch black. For a panicked moment, Noa lost her bearings. The pressure of Peter's hand on her shoulder guided her. Even though he couldn't see her, she nodded. He murmured in her ear, "I'll break left once we get outside, okay?" "Okay." Adrenaline sent a surge of energy through her veins. Noa mentally reconstructed the layout of the complex. The forest was on her right, but she wanted to put some distance between herself and the others. They were supposed to fan out immediately, separating into 4 different targets to make it less likely they'd all be caught. She'd run straight for a few hundred yards, then break toward the forest. The emergency door suddenly flew open, and Peter's shadow darted left. Nearly tripping on the doorsill in her haste, Noa made a beeline for the next building, 100 yards away. It was a dark night, the moon a mere sliver on the horizon. The area around the apartment buildings was barren and full of malevolent shadows. Noa kept running, pushing herself hard, fighting against the weight of her backpack. The emergency door slammed shut behind her. She heard a yell from inside, followed by the sound of pounding boots. "Too late, you bastards," she thought grimly. There was a playground in front of her, or what remained of one. The metal slide had